Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Sound up. Come on in the room. Makes me think about this old church song. What is it? You better come on in this house. It's gonna rain. Rain down fire. It's gonna rain. Come on in this house. It's gonna rain. Rain down fire. It's gonna rain. It's gonna second. Hey, Cindy. Bless up, love. Thank you for coming in. How are you doing? Oh, goodness. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Phone's ringing. Thanks for being patient with me, Cindy. Um, that was about my little baby, and so I had to go ahead and answer that. Um, I'm okay. Um, as good as to I guess as good as expected for such a time as this right now. Um, I'm just gonna kind of go right in because I don't want to be on long today. But as you can see in the title, thank you to those who are watching from Facebook as well as those of you that are watching from YouTube. As you can see, the title says I need your help. I've shared quite Lord, I feel like I'm so far away. I've shared a few things with you guys about what's going on here in Memphis and how it not only directly affects my family, but it also affects Memphis as a whole and our drinking water. Um, my mind has so many things going through it. Uh, uh, like to articulate what I feel, how I feel, what I've been feeling it's kind of hard to do because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around um, this whole environmental racism thing, this whole just the fact that it's been going on so long, and not only that, but struggling with the fact that I love Memphis. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the anniversary video that my husband and I did for our 10-year anniversary. But we had the whole "I'm so Memphis." That, like, I'm Memphis. I love Memphis, and I'm just at a place where I'm feeling like, wait, so Memphis ain't returning the love. Um, and so yeah, I'm just trying to cope and deal with that. But while I'm coping and dealing with that, I'm learning of other states, other cities that are experiencing and have experienced some of the same issues. I learned about Cancer Alley in Louisiana, and it's a predominantly Black neighborhood. Um, and actually, the list could go on, but because I have to be at a march in um, by 3 o'clock, I'm not going to go through that full list. I've been trying to figure out how I could even do a series on environmental racism because it needs to be talked about. Knowing that my mom was first diagnosed with cancer at 39, which is very young, with breast cancer. I want to give you the politically correct definition of it, Cindy. So give me one quick second. So here, and I got this from because it's kind of complicated to explain, and they also use environmental injustice as well. But it refers to how minority group neighborhoods, populated primarily by people of color and members of low socioeconomic backgrounds, are burdened with disproportionate numbers of hazardous, including toxic waste facilities, garbage dumps, and other sources of environmental pollution and foul odors. Um, that typically end in um, people losing their lives. And so the more I dig, the more I'm like, wait, is this a form of genocide? And we really hadn't talked about it. I don't know. Like, I'm still learning too. And so, like I said, when my mom being diagnosed with cancer the first time at 39, and then it coming back in 2014, and my grandmother getting diagnosed with cancer in 2014 at the age of 93, and um, having an uncle that's had prostate cancer, and having another aunt that's had breast cancer, and knowing that they I have no idea what this is, knowing that they those two cancers are two out of the three that you can get based on a study that was done here in Memphis for that area of Memphis in 2013. And it states that the cancer rate in that area is 4 times higher than the national average. The study was done in 2013. Why did I just find out about this study last year, the end of last year? Why did I just realize or learn the definition of environmental racism February of this year? And so it's been a lot for me to process. The area that I grew up in is predominantly Black. It was predominantly Black and Native American. The Native American reservation is still there, but it's part of the local college here. So where those residents went to, I don't know, but I can imagine them having to leave, considering that there was a period where we had traces of lead in our soil. So it's just a lot. So my thing is, how can you help? One way you can help is to, hey, Courtney. She said, there's a documentary on Cancer Alley. Oh, yes, ma'am. and I cried the entire time. And only Black people are there. The waste and the plants that surround the area is sickening. Absolutely. And so that's kind of where I was going. This area of Memphis called Boxtown was there before any industrial plants were placed there. Dre, can you get this? This is about Dizzy. They'll probably call it make with a appointment date for her eyes. And so to know that area stood alone without any industrial plants, and to literally look at a timeline when each plant came in and nothing was ever said, to know that our drinking water is literally being threatened, it's yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to try to. Yes, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. Sorry. I'm streaming from both, and lived in Boxtown. Yes, well, my family is still in Boxtown. So here are ways that you can help in your area. Find out if there's any predominantly Black areas that are surrounded by industrial plants. Often a way that they get into those areas and into any city is because they state, we're going to bring income. We're going to add money to the country, to the city. I love how this pipeline company wrote a letter to the citizens of or residents of that area the day before the vote about selling them some property. And in that letter, they talked about how much an impact it will make on the community, how much an impact it will make on the state of Tennessee, and how much of an impact it will make on America. Hey, Correct Code 6, thank you for coming in. And thank you for coming in too, Courtney. And the thing is, no amount of money can bring back the lives that have been lost due to this toxic environment. And to say, well, you already have this particular line going through is not enough. Like, that's not excuse enough to allow more lines to go through. That's like saying, oh, well, you committed this crime and got away with it, so you should be able to commit another. No. And so they basically said that was the path of least resistance. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to my community wall, but I was taught in school early that the quickest way to get to any destination is to go straight from point A to point B. Check out Into the Storm based on the NOLA crisis in Detroit is, oh, absolutely. And so right now Memphis is in a, how can I say it? We could be the next Flint, and that's real talk. If we don't protect our aquifer, and that's the underground well. They're literally trying to run this pipe directly through a MLGNW, which is Memphis Light, Gas, and Water Protection Zone, which means nothing's supposed to go through there, but because somehow something already got through there, we should allow them to. And then it's going to run directly over a recharge zone. And so with the recharge zone, that's basically where nature takes its course. When it rains, the dew, it seeps into the soil, and then it seeps down to the underground well. Here's the thing that the oil companies love to love to promote. Oil and water doesn't mix. Absolutely right. But how about, let's try this out, okay? How about let's do the experiment of me putting oil and water in a glass to show you that it doesn't mix, and then me separating that water and you drink it. And so that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Like, all of my professionalism, all of my big words, all of my boardroom etiquettes, kind of out the window right now because I'm still trying to deal with what I feel, deal with what's happening, deal with how my family has been greatly impacted by this. Um, but then I thought about it. I have this platform, and God didn't allow me to have this platform just to absolutely. And how about the oil company compared us to a pipeline out of Alaska? Um, it's just it's kind of crazy. And so they have all this money, and here's the what do you call it? The, I don't even know. The oil company has invested basically $1 million into that area, they say, through school systems and things of that nature. They've donated. Well, a donation is a gift. We didn't know nothing about you coming through here. We didn't know anything about it. Thank you for your gift. But in fact, take it back, whatever, go on, just leave our land alone. Well, what good is $1 million, $500,000 a year in taxes? Um, you state that you're going to give some jobs, but I can guarantee you that most of the employees that work there don't live in that particular zip code. Um, the same oil company just paid out $60 million in penalties last year for an oil spill in California. Um, and you want us to be okay with that $1 million and then 500,000 a year in taxes and then some possible jobs when in fact you made 140 billion last year. And if that pipeline is approved, it will run a high pressure crude oil at is slated to be about 7 billion a day. What type of money is that? Um, that is who's paying. When asked had they spoken with the local Native Americans, they told us no. They spoken to 20 different reservations and tribes, but not one locally. Like it's a mess. Look up nationwide permit 12. Um, it needs to be rescinded. That needs to be it's scary, but it's true. And this is why I'm trying to share it. Because you know the scripture says it. I don't know that people even realize that it comes from the scripture, but that my people perish for lack of knowledge. And a lot of times we don't know. To know that this study that showed that the cancer rate was 4 times higher in that area was completed in 2013 when my mama was still alive, when my grandmother was still alive, and to know that they spent a lot of their time on the porch enjoying the breeze, not knowing the air that they were taking in was toxic, is frustrating. Not knowing when I was a kid, seeing the flames lit coming around from downtown, that those flames was actually suffocating the neighborhood. We were just happy to see them, like, wow, knowing there's already a breach in our underground water. Also, our city, in 2018, the city council approved a 5-year, $5 million study. Oh, most definitely. I will be at the protest here shortly. I don't live far um, from there. I'll be there shortly. Um, exactly. Exactly. Um, just knowing that that study was out and nothing has been done to protect the area, but instead they continue to pile things on top of that area. It's just unacceptable. And crazy enough, I've seen comments that says, "Hi, Sherry. Thank you for coming in." I've seen comments that say, "Oil doesn't cause cancer." No, but the components in it does. And though oil and water doesn't mix, there are some components in it that will get trapped in the water and can contaminate our well. And the sad part is the area already has breaches. The other sad part is it'll be, if that area does get contaminated, it doesn't cut off the whole city's water. It cuts off that area. That's not okay. The other piece to it is in 2018, the city council approved what they called a historic vote to raise our water rates so that they could do a study of the clay on the underground well, or what we reference as the aquifer, sand aquifer, because there are breaches there. And so $5 million in the taxpayers, or the those that pay Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, are responsible for it. That's 2018. We're in 2021. So we're 2 years into that study, and it's a 5-year study. Anybody knows when you're doing a study, if it's not a natural disaster that interrupts that study, or a planned, how can I say it? Y'all help me with my science and my chemistry. Something planned to be a part of the study, then you don't disrupt the study. Putting this pipeline in is running it right by the area that's being studied. And so now you're disrupting a study. So this historic 5-year, $5 million vote wasn't, for the study, it wasn't worth the money that you've already taken from us. And at this point, it's just about getting it out. So there are a couple places that you can go for Memphis, and that would be Memphis Community Against Pipeline, which they are changing it to Memphis Community Against Pollution. We also have Protect Our Aquifer, and there's one other. But then there's also this network called the Poor People's Campaign, and they have a Facebook page. And they actually every Monday do Moral Mondays. And during Moral Mondays, you get to hear about plights like this in other areas. To know that there are other areas right now fighting pipelines, it's not just us. To know that there are other areas polluted, it's not just us. But the one thing that is in common is they're all predominantly Black, is a problem. And so the lighthearted question I have is, could that be considered a form of genocide? The map that shows how the oil pipe is going to go shows that the oil pipe could go a different route, but it will be through majority of white affluent neighborhoods. And to make the statement, well, it's affecting the least amount of people going this way. You want to protect your city. It's affecting the least amount of people that way, says that the value for the people in Boxtown is not the value for the people, the same as the value for the people in the city. And I'm not okay with that. And I'm not okay being quiet about it. I'm very okay with calling it out and saying it is what it is. One, because I know my intentions and I know my heart. And so nobody will ever be able to tell me I don't get it, that I don't understand. I get it and I understand it. And nobody's going to make me believe that it's right. This is wrong on so many levels. Never did I know when I did my first introductory video on my grandparents' property, when I stated that I believe we need a revolution, but it's not about black and white, it's about right and wrong. that I think I would be fighting for this land. Um, and I'm fighting hard with everything that I got. Tired, um, many sleepless nights, um, wanting to make sure that I honor and carry the mantle that my grandparents placed on me at a very young age, a very young age. Knowing the importance of legacy land, knowing the importance of keeping it up, knowing the importance of being able to self sustain with your own garden. But if you got oil in my soil, I can't do that. They love to say, "Oh, this pipeline is only going to be 4 feet um, under the ground." It doesn't matter. It goes directly over a recharge zone. It goes directly through a protection zone, and the council just approved something for public transportation upwards to $10 million regarding getting electric buses for the city. Why are we allowing crude oil to run through the city again? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's an oxymoron. Here you're saying we're getting prepared to transition, but then at the same time you're accepting money to allow something to come in. So I encourage you, don't be like me. Don't get blindsided by your city. Look into the different areas of your city, county, and state and see what is going on. I implore you. Congressman Steve Cohen has reached out to President Biden, asking him to rescind the nationwide 12 permit that was approved for the Bahia Connection Pipeline. I implore you, whatever city, state you're in, to please contact your representative and speak about what's going on here in Memphis. I'm thankful for Morgan Freeman and his dedication. I'm thankful for Jane Fonda and her dedication. You know, these celebrities. I'm thankful for Attorney being Crump catching it and seeing it and sharing it. But I'm asking those that are closest to me to go to my community wall and share out everything, if you can, that I've put down about this pipeline. Because what I do believe is we may not have billions of dollars to fight this oil company, but we got love, we have neighborhood, we have family, and we believe in community. And those are things that money can't buy. So to those of you that love and respect me, if you see me sitting on the news in a lawn chair, blocking off the streets of my grandmama's house, mind your business. Just send me some water. Make sure I got water and food, because I'm on a stakeout trying to protect the land. I say that jokingly, but please know I'm dead serious. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that with y'all because I hadn't been consistent. And again, I'm tired. Like, yeah, I'm tired. I've gone from fighting school systems to now fighting oil companies. And I feel like, some may get this reference, some may not, but I feel like Miss Sophia from The Color Purple. All my life I had to fight. And I'm tired. I don't want to fight. But I will. Because it's in me and it's what's right to do. And I'm going to stand up for what's right. And I love my city. As much as I feel now that my city is taken away from me, I still love Memphis. And I love the people of Memphis. And I want what's best for Memphis. So yeah, with that being said, I got 30 minutes to get to this rally. I may go live and share the rally. They're supposed to vote today on whether or not they're going to sell some parcels of land to the Bahia connection. They cannot sell truthfully and prolong the process, shall I say. But ultimately, this does come down to federal law, and we need support from other congressmen, other senators, not just from Tennessee, and other parties. Um, Democratic Party, Republican Party, Libertarian Party, Green Party, Independent Party. Um, yeah, we need support. And just know that I don't ask for support and don't give support. I stood with Standing Rock when they were fighting the Dakota Access. It didn't go their way, but I stood with them. Um, and this time I'm just praying that in staying, that a difference can truly, truly be made. I will definitely be careful. I will definitely stay safe. I'm not even taking a sign with me today. And I have one ready, but I'm just going to be there to show my solidarity and that I stand for what's right. And I'm prepared to fight till I can't fight anymore. So, with that being said, I'm about to go honor my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, and my uncle and stand on their behalf. I love you guys. I've done a lot of smacking and a lot of ums. I love you guys. I am sending lots of love, joy, peace, blessings your way. Remember, you are responsible for your own happiness. No one can control your happiness but you. And lastly, open your eyes to the world around you. And that's what I had to come to grips with, is that I didn't. And I realized I can't take on every fight. In 2013, I wouldn't have known about this study because my daughter had just gotten diagnosed with autism. So I was trying to learn everything I could about autism. But to truly even find out that environmental racism could play a part in the fact that my child has autism and this is a different neighborhood, that's a whole nother story. I'm just, yeah, taking it one day at a time. And sadly, it didn't just affect my family. There are so many similar stories to mine in that area. So yeah, no need to thank me. Most definitely going to live my purpose. Definitely overwhelming, but like the shirts that I made for Helen's Angels, it's just my mom. The fight continues, and so I'm gonna do what I gotta do to protect our land and to protect my city, and to make sure that the city is safe for all of us. So yeah, that's all I can do. Check out your cities, see if there's some areas where there's some environmental racism. If you can reach out to your congressman and ask them to support Congressman Steve Cohen as he's going before President Biden asking for nationwide the permanent approval to be rescinded, that can happen, because we're people. We deserve quality of life, and we're resilient. For that neighborhood to have the home ownership rate that they do, and it's higher than the national average too, says that they're resilient. Al Gore referred to Boxtown as freed man's land, which is a place where slaves went once they were freed, and they took what they could out of railroad box carts to create homes for their families. So yeah, that's just a little bit of what's going on. It's a lot more, but I just kind of wanted to share that with you. And again, just asking for your support throughout this process and do what you can in your area. Never feel that, oh, I'm just one person, I can't make a difference. One person can make a difference. If you don't believe it, Google my name in Southwest Early College High School. One parent stood up. Yeah, so it can be done. And that's not a gloat. That's just to say it can be done. But we got to believe that what we're doing is actually having an effect. So yeah, love you guys. I got now 24 minutes to get to this rally, but that's not so bad because I'm only like 10 minutes away. All right, I love you guys. Bye.